From the National Newsroom of the Canadian Press, I'm Rob Westgate. Citing the sluggish pace of labour talks between BC's dock workers and their employer, Federal Labour Minister Stephen McKinnon has called on both sides to pick up negotiations. To that end, the BC Maritime Employers Association and International Longshore and Warehouse Union Local 514 have agreed to mediated talks over the next 3 days. McKinnon says his primary concern was the apparent lack of urgency to finding a resolution, a sentiment echoed by several business groups across Canada. Meanwhile, Canada is bracing for what could be a bumpy road ahead with the incoming Trump administration, especially when it comes to the economy. Hoping to calm nerves, Deputy Prime Minister Chrystia Freeland and Foreign Affairs Minister Mélanie Joly spoke on Friday, saying that Canada will be ready and the nation can pull through another white-knuckle ride with Trump in the Oval Office. To that end, Freeland and Joly also took part in the first meeting of a rejuvenated Cabinet Committee on Canada-U.S. relations. Nova Scotia's progressive Conservatives are promising to put a cap on electricity rate increases if re-elected. Party leader Tim Houston says that if Nova Scotia Power is given approval for a rate increase, a Tory government would calculate the average of rate hikes across the country and then order the utility not to exceed that number. The pledge is part of their election platform released yesterday. A group of runaway monkeys from a South Carolina lab are keeping close to home while efforts to recapture them continue.
The fugitive rhesus macaque monkeys that broke out of the Alpha Genesis Research Center in Yamasee, South Carolina aren't wandering far. On their second day on the wrong side of the monkey bars, police saying the primates are hanging around the perimeter fence of the facility, cooing at their fellow primates still inside. Their behavior calm and playful. Alpha Genesis saying they're keeping a close eye and advising the public to stay clear of the area while they work to safely bring the mischievous monkeys back home. Dave Packer, ABC News.
Police in Seattle have arrested a suspect after a total of 9 people were stabbed over 2 days. 5 people were stabbed on Friday. 1 person was taken into custody. High school student Harmony White says she's been on edge as she has to pass through the area where it happened just to get to school.
There's a lot of kids over here because it's a high school, so it's a bit concerning when people are being stabbed in the middle of the day.
Police say 4 of the victims were taken to hospital. 1 was treated at the scene and released. And Toronto musician Nathan Ferrero has scored 3 Grammy nominations for his work with Beyoncé. He says collaborating with the superstar has brought on a new level of fame.
We're used to making a lot of songs and working on stuff that don't necessarily get the public notoriety. And to see your name next to Beyoncé, definitely dream come true.
Ferrero is up for Record of the Year, Song of the Year, and Best Country Song from Beyoncé's country pop smash, Cowboy Carter. This is the Canadian Press. In sports, starting off in the NHL, a 2-goal effort from John Tavares helped the Toronto Maple Leafs to a 3-1 win over Detroit. Evgeny Malkin scored the go-ahead goal in Pittsburgh's 4-2 victory over Washington. Seattle beat Vegas 4-3 in OT, and Minnesota topped Anaheim 5-2. A little bit of a side note for Leafs fans there. Captain Austin Matthews is on the injured reserve list with an upper body issue. He'll miss at least 1 more game and could return as early as Tuesday night. Matthews has 11 points in 13 games this season. In MLS action, the Vancouver Whitecaps have their postseason ended after a 1-0 loss to LAFC. Los Angeles moving on to play Seattle in the second round. And Canada's Rachel Homan is the only unbeaten women's skip in the field at the Co-op Canadian Open. She beat Sweden's Isabella Rana 5-4 in her 4th straight win. The quarterfinals start Saturday at noon. From the Canadian Press, I'm Rob Westgate.
Thanks for listening. Don't forget to follow and subscribe. For more of today's top stories, visit thecanadianpressnews.ca.